All right, happy Monday. Making sure this is working. It's no makeup Monday. Not wearing any makeup, but I wanted to get on here. Um, Start off the week. I know the news is bleak. I know. Um, Hey, Christopher, how are you, hon? Um, when I was writing up my forecast at the beginning of January, I knew that with this dragon tail in Scorpio, it threatened the reproductive right. Please ignore the mess. I just got back from San Diego and there's shoes and crap everywhere. But I knew that there would be issues um, coming about reproductive rights. Hey, Kapui. Hey, Gail. How are you guys? Happy Monday, everybody. I knew there would be issues coming with reproductive rights, but I never thought that this would get overturned. Um, that's probably just me looking through rose colored glasses. I am an astrologer, but I'm also human as well. Um, it is a dark day for women. It is a dark day not just for women, but this opens a Pandora's box to not just women's rights, but the LGBTQ community. Our BIPOC community has been screaming about this for years. And if you don't think that this is something that's trying to save the white race, you're blind and your head is in the sand. Um, I've done a lot of activism on TikTok the last couple of days, and um, we are going backwards, people. Backwards is what we're doing. I just posted something on my TikTok. I follow Jesse Ventura. Um, I love him. If he would ever run for president, I would vote for him. In a way, yes, because us as women, um, I'll post my videos that I've put on TikTok. I'll post them onto here, and I'm going to warn you. I drop the F bomb a lot. But if the neo-Nazi Christian right think that women are going to lie down quietly and take this shit. This isn't the days of the Quaker women with the little bonnets. Oh no, we're gearing up like shield maidens. I have no problem going to battle, but I'm also looking into. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Not that the abortion issue in Italy is not, there's issues there too. The country is right next to the Vatican, so there's a lot of religion and indoctrination in Italy. But my kids have more rights in Italy. So we are working on trying to get my girls to Italy in the next couple of years. I don't see myself living in the United States a whole lot longer. The Astrology Witch will maybe in the very near future be broadcasting from Bari, Italy, because that's probably where I'm heading. Bari, Italy, the southern region of Italy. And Christopher, my brother from another mother, you can come with me, okay? I'm taking you too. This is all in the talking stages, and um, it is a mad, mad world out there. I got a community guidelines violation last night on TikTok. And the reason I got this violation is because the person who had originally posted the video, he got the violation. So anyone who duetted his video um, got that violation too. But it was a pasture from, uh, oh, give me a minute and I'll let you know who he is. Just a second. I'm going to my YouTube history. I almost exposed him last night and I decided not to because I don't need any more community guidelines. But that doesn't mean I can't do that here on YouTube. I mean, he has his own YouTube channel and he spews hate and all this other crap. Ah, here it is. This is the Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tucson, Arizona, by the great Deacon Corbin Russell. Now, the comments he made in his video on YouTube were absolutely disgusting. Now, he was talking about a woman he was in line with in a hardware store, and he could clearly tell she was a man. And the thing he's saying, she was a hideous woman. I mean, really? You're supposed to be a pasture walking in Christ consciousness in some ways. And I talk about Christ consciousness not because I have to adhere to Christ consciousness. I am not a Christian. I am a pagan. I know more Satanists who have the kindness and compassion than any of these phony, fake ass Christians. Okay. But please, by all means, give him hell. Go look at his on and on. And if I can try and find that video, I will post it here on YouTube because I don't think I'm really safe on TikTok at the moment. But he's talking about this hideous woman in line in front of him, and the lady ringing him up was okay with it, and that was just disgusting, and it ruined his day, and it made him sick, and he was grossed out. And he said all these nasty, horrible things. You don't know if that person in front of you is male or female. And you know, another witch on TikTok said something, and a light bulb came on. She said, if you're obsessing over someone's genitalia, you're the fucking pervert. And she's right. I sat there going, oh my God, she's right. She's 100 absolutely % right. I would have to worry about the state taking my rights away. What do you mean, Christopher? The state taking your rights away with like disability and whatnot? Anyway, she had a point there about why are we stressing on when worried about the genitalia of what's in someone's pants. I mean, really, let live and let live. But no, this is my mother told me many years ago, Eisenhower warned us about this. Now, he was way before my time, but I know my grandmother was an Eisenhower supporter because she always had these pins all over her room. Ike, I like Ike, vote for Ike, this and that. So, but Eisenhower, even he was a Republican. Eisenhower said something, and I don't know exactly how he quoted it, but he said, when you elect radicalism into your government, whether that's right-wing Christian radicalism like we're seeing now, or even left-wing radicalism, because there is both, you're not upholding to the Constitution and that freedom, the First Amendment, but also the freedom to practice your own religion. I mean, isn't that the whole reason we have Independence Day? I'm not celebrating Independence Day today at all. I told my kids I wouldn't be celebrating, and they're fine with that. There is no independence. This is a crock of shit. What a big bubbling crock of bullshit. See? Well, you know, I have looked at some of his older like clips of him, and a lot of the things he said were right on the money. He was not a stupid man. He was an incredibly intelligent human being. And obviously the Republican Party in the days of Ike is not the same party it was. The Democratic Party isn't even the same. And even in the Democratic Party, I mean, if you think that you're safe if you're a Democrat, think again. Some of the shit Biden's getting ready to do. My daughter just sent me this video talking about Biden's getting ready to sign in a federal judge who is completely pro-life, is a permanent position where you stay for the rest of your life. And he's making this deal with Turtle Boy. The turtle. It's his name. Mitch McConnell. He's making this deal with Mitch McConnell so he could get something passed. Okay, that's going to hurt us in the end. So he's no better, in my opinion. You know, it is. You're right. It is cheap ass reality TV, and the people that follow this shit are the unintelligent, indoctrinated morons that I see. If you're a woman out there, I'm going to tell you this. If you can obtain firearms, do so. Lock and fucking load. I don't know how else to say it. Here in Arizona, where I'm at, there's only 2 protests going on in the next 2 weeks. I've looked and I've looked and I've looked. And one of them isn't even in Phoenix. It's a town below Phoenix, which has a very, my understanding is the reason that's going on is because the population in that town is, there's a lot of Latinos in that neighborhood and in that town. So naturally it's going to steer to a more progressive way of doing things. But the reason I came on here today is I took notes on this yesterday. And gosh darn it, I can never find it. These were important notes too. I got to find those notes, kids, because it's something I joined. You know how they have the Gaia channel and you could join and sign up? Well, I have been doing a lot of reading on Hermeticism and Hermetic studies and the Kabbalion and the Emerald Tablets and things like that. And I discovered this individual. I always knew he was there, but I never really watched any of his stuff. And maybe it's because there's another TikToker on here. I won't drop her name, but she's kind of a con artist, and she used to endorse him, so I kind of assumed the two were related in some ways. But actually, he's a really legitimate individual. The channel's called Forbidden Knowledge. I signed up for it, and I sat up till 3 a.m. last night because I couldn't sleep, watching all these different episodes of stuff. I mean, it does deal with UFOs, but it also deals with cosmic consciousness. It's something that I don't find and see in the witchcraft community very much. I mean, they can all be witches, yes, but a lot of them don't have cosmic consciousness, and I'm seeing that. But Forbidden Knowledge, I learned a great deal of things last night. And I sat up for like 4 or 5 hours watching. But I have got to find those notes. I may have to come back on here and do this. But, all right, you can look at my messy bedroom. I'm going to step away, and I'm going to go find those notes because it's important. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. I am so sorry, but I had to get these notes. Okay. So anyway, I started subscribing to this, and one of the reasons was my mother wanted me to too. She's heard of Billy Carson more than I have. She listens to Coast a lot, so it would make more sense. But there you go. Healers heal. I agree. But anyway, go check it out. Forbidden Knowledge. It's got something for everybody. If you're into the UFO thing, it's got the UFO thing. It even has, what do you call it? A series on meditation that kind of teaches you how to meditate. There's a thing there. You can do yoga every morning. It's really a place for people of cosmic consciousness. And this man, of course, I went and did his stars. I had to know. Um, he is a beautiful individual. He's a beautiful soul inside and out, educated, knowledgeable. And he was talking in a symposium, and I think there was someone in the crowd kind of like heckling him because he was talking about secret societies and the Freemasons. And I love the way he shot this guy down, and it was in the most classy, most intelligent manner I've ever seen anyone shoot someone down. And he simply had, what was he talking about? Let me go look on my notes. Oh, because he was talking about, let's start off with secret societies. And he was trying to explain that secret societies, Freemason, Illuminati, things like that, they don't let minorities in. Okay. And Billy Carson is a man of color. So he was trying to explain to him, I'm not in a secret society. I could never be initiated into that. They usually don't allow minorities. So now I know the Freemasons accept people of color. I don't know if that's always been a law or a rule. Christopher, you will know more about this subject than I would because you're the historian in the family, as I say. But he shot this guy down in the most intelligent manner. So let's talk about secret societies for a minute, because I always hear in the witch community, there's no such thing as the Illuminati. Well, the Illuminati, let's talk about that first. The Illuminati was founded in 1776 by Adam Wellfalk in Germany to create a secular society. Now, the Illuminati hasn't always been in place, but the fundamentalism of this has been set in stone since the beginning of time. But the Illuminati didn't get erected until about 1776, which kind of makes perfect sense. The United States was being erected as a country. Pluto was going into Capricorn. Perfect time for a an Illuminati and secret societies to begin. Pluto, death, drama, rebirth, transformation. Capricorn, government, politics, control. Capricorn in its positive is discipline and structure. Capricorn in its negative is abusive and controlling. So he was talking about this, and so he was explaining about the Illuminati. I didn't know this, so I learned something. Then he was talking about secret societies, and we're going to use the one that is actually my indigenous brothers and sisters are suing this university because they have the bones of some warrior chief. I'm not sure which one. Secret societies, and I'm going to use Skull and Bones or Skull and Crossbones for an example. This began in Yale in about 1832, and it was founded by Ellsworth and a whole bunch of others. You can just Google Skull and Crossbones and see what you get, the founding fathers of it and all this. The interesting thing about this is they want to suppress the people of color, but yet they have no problem trying to steal and take their magic. Hold on, Gail. I'll answer your question in a minute. But they used Egyptian rituals in their Skull and Crossbones initiations. And on top of that, they also have artifacts that they've stolen from the indigenous. So, yeah, secret societies have been in place since the early 1800s in the United States. The Illuminati started in 1776. Now, let's talk about the Freemasons. Now, I come from a long line of them. My dad was never a Freemason. And I used to ask him, how come you're not involved in the Freemasons? And he says, because I don't need to control the world. My grandmother was an Eastern Star. And I have an uncle that I never spoke to who died a couple years ago. He was a 33rd degree Mason. He was at the highest level of Masonry. So to say that my family's not connected to the Masons is an understatement. I am not connected to them. My father was not connected to them. But I didn't get a year here, did I? No, the Masons were founded in 1717. And this dates back to, Belinda's handwriting is just atrocious. Well, this dates back even before the founding fathers, okay? And it was formed in 1717, and it was founded by 4 English lodges to teach self-discovery and building with science, and to teach awareness, which isn't a bad thing. You always hear people talk about, conspiracy theorists and the Masons, and they talk about this and that. The Masons were very much into the occult, but they were creating a frequency of energy. They believed that, this is what I learned last night. They believed that they could cast spells and create frequency by building things. And in the realm of alchemy, they were right. They can. How do you think? And they learned from the Egyptians with those pyramids and what they did and how they built, and their, tombs and their structure of those pyramids are very intricate, there's a mastermind behind that, and all the hidden tunnels and chambers and this and that. So it's very enlightening. So when I hear people say, oh, there's no such thing as the Illuminati, well, that's not entirely true. That's just a conspiracy theory. The Illuminati hasn't been here since the beginning of time. Origins of it have, but it was erected in 1776. What am I missing here now? Do you ever think this world be right makes you wonder? I'm familiar with the secret society, Italy. It does make me wonder, and I have heard of Opus D, however you say it. I don't know a whole lot about it, so tell me what it's about. I don't know I've heard of it, but I don't know too much about it. This world is a damn mess, but I also learned something else last night. The year 2022 BCE. Think about this. The year 2022 BCE was going through the same shit that we're going through now. It makes a lot of sense. Like I said, we're on a paradigm shift, and we're being tested. There's going to be persecution. Let's face it, and let's just call this what it is. Nothing ever good comes from religion. Religion is about control. Religion is about hatred. It's not about kindness. It's not about respect for one another. It's about control, fear, and hatred, and bigotry. It's a colonizer religion. It always has been, and it always will be. And I don't mean this to insult people who are Christian. My mother's Christian. And even my mother, she sees the TikTok videos I show her and she says, this is not the Jesus that I read about in my Bible every night. That's not the Jesus I uh, believe in. Is it got mafia ties, Christopher? Flagellation. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. So anyway, there's only 30%. I can only speak for the United States. There's only 30% that are on board with this. So that other 70% has to rise up. Now, I've got a lot of work ahead of me in the next couple of months, but I am going to start looking at the stars of those court justices. I've already done Clarence Thomas, and you can go and see his. I do think his days are numbered. Remember, I've got until July of 2023 with this energy. So November is going to be the worst month for this country and the world at large. What these court justices have done, though, is opened up a Pandora's box, and not in a good way. You can't celebrate a holiday that says there's freedom when our very freedoms have been taken away. This is just going to open a bigger Pandora's box to more freedoms being taken away. Once this is taken away, they're going after, and Clarence Thomas said it. So I do believe he is a dead man walking. They're out for him, especially him. But they're also out for the other five. They are living in a very dangerous times, and I know they have to have security. But the possibility of an assassination attempt on their lives is very possible. And that's not something I'm rooting for. They created this themselves, though. But I'll start looking into their stars. Alito, Roberts, Coney Barrett, whatever her name is. Is a whipping and chastity belts. Oh. Oh, Jesus. I am a DNA match. And they do not want to go. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, this is going to be a rough year. It's going to be a very rough year for all of us, not just here in the United States, but abroad as well. I mean, I see the things that are going on in Britain too. It's insane. My buddy Christopher is, if you want to know anything about any family, I've told him my family lineage, and he's been able to trace one of the last names of my grandmother's mother's maiden name. Apparently, that last name is direct lineage to the Knights Templars. So he is the man to ask with ancestry and lineage and country. He's pretty damn amazing. But I'm really not sure what to say here. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. It is a disgusting world. My kids asked me this morning, "Are we going anywhere? Are we doing anything?" I go, "Nope. I'm not doing anything. I'm not spending any money." And I don't know how long I'm going to keep that up, but I refuse to shop. I bought all my necessities. What I mean by necessities, your underarm deodorant, your body wash, your shampoo, conditioner. I bought all that down in San Diego, and I've stocked up. So I've stocked up on food. I'm not doing any shopping. I'm not spending any money. I'm not feeding the system. I'm going to hurt the system where it matters, and that's where they care. What they care about the most is the almighty dollar and money. and preserving the white man's race, because that's really what all of this abortion shit is really all about. Um, I've gone on a couple of different talk shows, radio shows. I'm not going to mention names, and I'm sure she might see this, but I'm not going to. You have to have your head up your fucking ass if you think that this election was stolen and you believe that fat bloated baboon, that orange baboon. You really do. You have to be fucking stupid or just idiotic. I don't know what. But I'm starting to realize that there's a lot of people in the paranormal community that are on the Christian right, and they've now become my enemy, unfortunately. And I don't say that lightly. I will stand with my Satanistic brothers and sisters. I'll stand with my pagan brothers and sisters. I'll stand with my LGBTQ community brothers and sisters, and I will fight you and I will win. We will win. You have opened up a fucking hornet's nest and expect the fuckery that comes with it. I think I'm going to put a caption on my YouTube that this is explicit language because I'm upset. You know, what kind of a future does my 17-year-old and my 21-year-old daughter have in Arizona? They don't. Even the radio station where I heavy metal DJ, that family just announced they're thinking of relocating everything to Portugal. There's going to be a mass exodus of Americans leaving. And then the ones that don't leave are the ones that might have to stay and fight. No, you're right, Coy. They cannot control free souls, but they're going to try. When I was a kid, and I made a YouTube or a TikTok video about this the other day, my dad was very, very religious. Okay, and indoctrinated, absolutely. Both of my parents were. But my dad used to say something to me, and it never really made any sense. I'm like, why? You guys control everything. He was just saying, in the last days, Christians are going to be persecuted. This is what he used to say over and over and over again. In the last days, Christians are going to be persecuted. And what the fuck does he mean by this? I realize what it is now. It's the beginning of this because you brought it on your damn self. You are getting ready to be persecuted because you decided to infringe on other people's rights just because someone doesn't vibe a certain way or look a certain way or believe in a certain way. Don't you understand those are Nazi mentality tactics you're dealing with? Every time I go on this YouTube channel, I lose followers. So this is kind of like me cleaning out the trash. And I'm going to say it again because I do not have time for any of that shit on this channel. This is a channel of enlightenment. This is a channel of learning. I'm not going to say it's love and light because I don't believe in love and light. But I have watched the paranormal community especially spiral in the last couple of years, especially with this President Trump in office. Including church with state is a dangerous combo that Jesus preached against. See, now, he did he now? I did not know this because, I don't really read the Bible. What is ironic, the right-wing evangelicals ignore that the Old and New Testament admonishes that including Caesar with matters of spirit to be dangerous. Well, I don't have a degree in religions or anything, but here's my understanding. And I know that a rabbi and a congregation, a synagogue is suing the state of Florida for religious freedoms because not all Jews, but I don't think the Orthodox Jews believe this, but the more modern day Judaism believes that, life of a child starts when the umbilical cord is cut. Now, that's a Judaic teaching of some sort. And so they're suing I know that there has been an influx in people joining the Satanic Temple. Um, Even more pro-choice among Orthodox. Okay, see, I'm glad you're in my chat today, Christopher, because you really know your religions. You're educated more on it than I am. And this is why we work together well. It's in Leviticus. It's okay. Hey, Melly, how are you? It's all right. The party's still going, babe. It's in Leviticus about conception occurs at the moment of birth. Really? My mother was talking about that the other day. Um, a lawsuit? Yes, yes. There's a lawsuit going on with that little twerp not Arizona, the other idiotic state, Florida. I always say that Texas is the mother lode of stupidity, and she gave birth to two stupid little brothers, Arizona and Florida. Sorry. I mean, come on, you guys. My state is in the news with this insurrection. I do believe that as well. Absolutely. Um. Oh, good, Melly. Oh, that's nice. You're cooking. Enjoy the day as much as you can. Um, I do believe that as well, Christopher, and I think a lot of people believe that. I just watched a video before I got on here, and hold on, Kapui, they're trying to censor your comment. That isn't happening. No censorship here. Here we go. A virgin was considered a woman who had not yet birthed a child, so sex was cool. Jesus. No pun intended. Even in old Catholic literature before the schism of states, it's also. I watched a video. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. Carrie Fisher's mother. She was the famous actress. Please help me, people. Carrie Fisher's mother. Who was Carrie Fisher's mother? Both, obviously, they're both gone, the mother and her. But Carrie Fisher's mother, she died like a couple of years ago. Debbie Reynolds. Is it Debbie Reynolds? Carrie Fisher's mom. I think it's Debbie Reynolds. Okay, so Debbie Reynolds. I watched a video with Debbie Reynolds on it was on TikTok this morning, and it was a YouTube video about. Okay, thank you, Gail. Debbie Reynolds. She was talking about this was before she had her daughter, but she said that she was pregnant and the baby at 7, and she was in some state, Alabama or Mississippi, or one of those states in the South. Her baby had died in the womb at 7 months and they wouldn't abort it. She had to give birth to a dead fetus, a dead baby. I mean, I'm a person of science, and I don't believe everything the medical community says or my doctors. Um, but that is some sick shit to sit there and let a baby just rot in your womb. That's basically what they did. So yeah, there's some twisted shit here. And what I find the most amusing, and you're going to see in the next several months, it coming out in the wash. This isn't one of my predictions, so if you're in Patreon, you know it's coming. Watch and see what gets exposed about the church, about pastors, about the police department in the next several months to come. This is why many bishops do not allow stillborn funerals because Augustine. Okay, well that makes sense, Christopher. You're right, it does have to happen. There has to be I am really trying to use my words wisely. I've been trying to use as much tact as I can. Not so much on this platform, but TikTok and Facebook. Um, you're gonna have to weapon up. Weapon up. I'm sorry. And I don't like to sound crazy, but you're gonna need to get some weapons. Learn how to use, you ladies out there, you're gonna need to learn how to use a firearm. I'm sorry. If you plan on staying here, but this is coming sooner than later. Okay, I'm talking in the next 9 months, but I'm going to discuss this more in time, but I want to do my homework on it a little more. But election day, midterms, November 8th, lunar eclipse in Taurus. There's something very dark coming around the day before that, the day of, or the day after, and then come 22nd of November, there's something darker, even darker coming. Exactly. I mean, I'm not going to take this lying down. As long as I'm still living in this place, I will still fight. But it's not safe. And if you are a part of the LGBTQ community, you especially need to lock and load. Load up on firearms, because there's going to be some psycho Christian moron that's going to want to kill you just because you vibe a little differently. So me talking about the paranormal community a minute ago, I didn't mean that to be disrespectful to some, but a lot of them have gone down this rabbit hole of insanity that I've stepped completely away from. And it's kind of funny because my friend who passed away recently stepped away from it too, because he thought they were all insane. And they all had their heads up their asses. You know who I'm talking about, Christopher. It's really hard to stay friends with some of these people. I'm trying to not put politics in front of this, but I started thinking about this the other day. Why would I want to be friends with someone who's a homophobe? Someone who doesn't like gay people or transgender people, or thinks women should be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen, who has no respect for the POC community, or doesn't really understand the real history of this country and how we've damn near annihilated the indigenous people of this country. Why would I want to break bread, have a conversation, or be anywhere near people like this? I don't. And I know I've pissed some people off in this community. I could tell. I had a very famous, well, he thinks he's famous. I asked someone who he is, and they go, "Who the fuck is that?" But he thinks he's famous. Psychic profiler, without me mentioning names, unfriend me. And I think I know why. I asked a question on Facebook: how could anyone who walks an indigenous path and be of indigenous bloodline? I don't care if you're Apache, Pueblo, or come from the tribes down in South America. How could you be a Christian? How could you have taken the very religion that slaughtered, raped, pillaged, and murdered your race? How could you take their religion? I don't get it. Well, I've been unfriended by quite a few people in the paranormal community, and that's just me taking out the white trash. Pardon my French, but let the garbage take itself out. And then there's the people who are psychic in this community who try to read me without my permission. Okay, this has happened 3 times now. Christopher, you're aware of the first time because she was hunting you too. But I've had this happen 2 other times where these fucking idiots try to read me, and then when they do read me, I think you forget I'm a witch. And I'm not Wiccan. I don't believe in that harm none shit. You fuck with me, I fuck with you. But I have my wards in place. And I have my ancestral protection. So when you psychics come for me to try and read me, and then you end up summoning something that's dark and sinister, those are my ancestors protecting me from your self-righteous bullshit. I do believe in paranormal stuff, but I do not align with the greater community. I agree. I do too. I go my own way, and greater community are associate itself with the conservative church. Exactly. That's exactly. You took the words. You should be on here with me, co-hosting. You took the words right out of my mouth. Forcing and allowing the burn. Okay, I didn't know that, Christopher. I can't stay here, as you know why I have a reason to fear. I understand. I know. That's why I always told you, if I get out of here, you get out of here. I do. Okay, I read that. She tried to read. Oh, yeah. Okay, unfortunately, Christopher, this has happened to me 2 more times in my lifetime where a psychic feels that they can read me, and it actually happened with that last radio station you were affiliated with. Without me saying too much. Yep, she tried to weaponize her gifts against us. And she didn't get a demon, okay, or anything like that. No, she got an ancestor. Straganona came back from the dead. Let's just put it that way. And that was very entertaining to watch, though, if I do say so myself. That's right. Bounces off me and stuck to you. Now, I don't have a problem with psychics who want to read me. I've even had psychics, good, true psychics, call me out of the blue and say, look, I'm not even trying to read you, but they're usually more mediums than psychics. I had one call me out of the blue a few years ago saying, normally I don't do this because, that is just unethical. He goes, but this person on the other side is bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, and I got to contact you. And it was my grandmother trying to contact him. So that is a little different, okay, than a psychic trying to get in and read you without permission. That's just like a medium getting involved with reading someone who's crossed over without the permission of the family. Now, in the realm of witchcraft, my understanding is when that person dies, you don't make contact with that soul for a year and a day, because that transition, you don't think I want to contact Jason Stanton, our friend who died, Christopher, and make contact with him? I do. I do. But I have to give it a year and a day before I can even attempt to do that. It's out of respect for the soul and the spirit, because when the spirit dies, you know, they're going through some sort of transition. I'm not going to say it's purgatory or anything like that, but they're going through something where um, they're meeting with their ancestors that have been gone. They're transitioning into the spirit world, which is very different from the living. Okay, so I find it very, very disrespectful when people sit there and purposely try and contact someone who's just recently died when they're not the ones reaching out. And if that spirit isn't reaching out, leave it. Leave it be. This is where the paranormal community could really use a heavy dose and a good lesson in the occult. Because they're following the wrong book. Let's see what's going on in my chat. A guy named Evan tried to bully a friend of mine. Oh, I remember that. Shoot. Oh, I remember that. Oh, his devil. Oh, and it caused the spirit to blow up. God, I remember that, Christopher. I forgot all about that. Wow. Exactly. You don't unless they come to you. Um, Now I'm not gonna lie. When I first, I have a altar in my living room that actually it's turned into my mother's altar. I talk about this. We laugh. Ha ha ha. The Catholic lady took over my altar, but she's got her veins on it and her La Madonna and the rosary and the flowers. And we turned it into an altar for ancestors. Um, I had Jason's picture up on that altar with a candle lit for him. Um, and all I said to him was, listen, because I reached out to his daughters, which I don't know if anybody else did. I literally reached out to his daughter. Um, I said to Jason in a little prayer, a little mantra to him, you're going through the motions right now. When you're ready, you'll come to me. When you're ready, you'll give me that sign and let me know you're okay. And it happened with my other friend who passed away in November of 2020. Okay, she was very atheist. She wasn't spiritual. She was part of the LGBTQIA community and very political, very democratic. I knew when she passed, she was going to be going through something too. And I knew I wouldn't make contact with her or she wouldn't reach out to me. And it was actually a year and a day after her death. So November 19th, 2021. I was out in my front yard doing some gardening, and the weather was very nice. And I just looked up at the sky and I says, I'm still waiting for that sign that you are okay. And 20, 30 minutes later, I was putting all the stuff away in the shed and closing the shed up, getting ready to go inside. And sure enough, this little white feather comes falling down out of the sky. There's no birds around. There's no nest. I'm like looking up going, that was my sign. She's okay. So Jason will give me his in time too. But these people who try to tap into him and try and read him and try to see what he's doing, that's very disrespectful to the dead. When I die and someone does that to me, expect a full-blown haunting from me. Yeah. Now, you know what I think about some of these people that are in the paranormal? This is why witches make better paranormal investigators, because they know how to manipulate energy. They know how to control the energies around them. They know how to put a force around them. A lot of paranormal investigators are very religious, very indoctrinated, and a little simple thing called alchemy will go a long way for them. They're not educated in any kind of paganism, so they don't know how to really protect themselves. And a lot of the places they go here are already cursed because our natives cursed this land, which I would have too if the white man came and stole it from me. All right, well, that was my little 54-minute rant, and I'm going to end on a happier note here. I went a little batshit crazy at Borders Books in San Diego. I just want to do a little show and tell. There's 2 of them here I'm probably going to sell in my store. They were being clearanced out for such a good price. $15 for hardcover. You never find a book this cheap. So I got the Book of Practical Witchcraft. It was going for $15. Now, this is a book for beginners who want to get to know how to use the craft. And I could tell the person who wrote this is Wiccan, because at the very beginning of the book, it says, and we harm none. So that is a Wiccan mantra. But regardless of that mantra, it is filled with very good information that a beginner witch or someone who's just beginning in the occult world would find beneficial. So I have a feeling I might be selling this one on my website, astrologywitch.com. I got this one as well, and I think I just bought this one because of the color. This is the Book of Divination. I haven't had a chance to look through this one thoroughly yet, and I don't know if I'm keeping this one either. This is definitely one for a beginner as well. But I don't know. I might keep this one. This is a book I've been wanting for a long, long time, and I actually highly recommend it. And Kapui, I want your opinion on this, since you are the Green Witch in this chat. You got the Green Witch, the Astrology Witch, and Christopher, I'm going to have to call you the Ancestry Witch, okay? You're the Ancestry Warlock here. Blackthorn's Botanical Magic. The Green Witch's Guide to Essential Oils for Spellcraft, Ritual, and Healing. Kapui, what's your opinion on this? I really enjoy this combo too today. I know I may not have that many followers on here, but it's about quality over quantity, bar none. This has been a botanical magic. It's right up my alley. I wanted Kapui to chime in on this and tell me if this is a good book or not. I do believe this might be a book she might have told me to get one time, but I forgot. I know you do, honey. So when I bought it, I was thinking of you. I'm like, she would be proud of me for buying this. I had to use some justification to spend $150 on books. I don't usually drop money like that, but I was on vacation. I live in the boonies. There's no Borders book or Barnes and Noble here. The closest one went out of business, Flagstaff. So yes, I bought some books. This was one of them. So this will keep me busy. Then I bought a Moon Magic journal, which I went and did some research on. I'm able to buy this wholesale, and I'm going to start selling these in my store for you guys. And it'll probably be at the same price I bought this, which was about $11.99. But it's just beautiful because it's a journal. It's a yearly journal, and it's not like something you have to start right at the beginning of the year. I mean, if you follow the wheel of the year like a pagan, then the new year really technically starts for you on April 20th, March 20th, March 21st, solstice. I only use that for fighting. That's right. We are the first abortionists. In fact, there are herbs that you can take. There's a witch that is selling that information on Amazon. She calls it's witch. Her name's Witchfoot. Oh God, what is she? Fetus Deletus. She's selling a little pamphlet called Fetus Deletus, and how through botanicals you can give yourself your own herbal abortion, which is exactly what they did back in the day. Okay, the midwives, even the shamans of the tribes. I think the white man has it in his head that before they got to the Americas, that the natives were a bunch of savages, but they were actually more educated, more sophisticated than the white man in certain technologies, especially surgeries, science, pregnancies. That's right. The world gives us all the tools we need. Red will. That's right. There you go. Oh, Christopher, you have to fight like the devil, though. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Moon Magic Journal. I'm going to start selling these probably the beginning of the year or around fall for the holidays. They're going to make a great Christmas present. I actually went and checked my wholesaler, and she does sell these. So kind of regret buying it now at Barnes and Noble, but it's okay. I only paid like $3 extra, and it was on clearance. All right, the other book I got, and I don't know if I'm keeping this either. Like I said, I kind of bought on impulse, is The Witch's Complete Guide to Self-Care. I think I did it. I think I bought it all for that. I think I'm getting a tattoo of that. That's my next tattoo, I have a feeling. Just to scare the shit out of people. You know, especially those people that think, oh, you're in the Illuminati. Ooh, ooh. I guess I want to scare Christians. Sorry. Anyway, this is just honoring your intuition, working with the moon cycles, emotional care. It's kind of like a witchy book, a beautifying book for witches. And then last but not least, I got a book called Natural Magic. And this is a book that discovers your magic, connect with your inner and outer world. The Witches of the Forest Guide. So it's more, you know, it's another green witch thing. So, and last but not least, because, you know, I just need another deck of cards, right? Last but not least, I bought an oracle deck called Moonology. Now, there's two reasons why I bought this deck. One reason is, being the astrologer that I am, these will work very well with the method of astrology that I do. The second reason I bought these was because if you've followed me long enough, you know that I used to work with the angel cards that Doreen Virtue used to use. I stopped using them. I do pull them out because, like I said, I have people from all walks of life here that want readings. So I will have a Christian come at me and want an angel card reading. I'll also have a Satanist come at me and say, could you give me a tarot reading with the occult deck, which has the Lucifer card. I think I've showed you the occult deck. So I cater to all walks of life here, and I even have a native deck. When I'm dealing with someone who is of native blood and they want a reading, I never buy those native decks, so nobody get upset with me, say I'm culture appropriating. My mother's part native, and one of those decks was a gift. The other was a gift from another native, so I haven't bought them for myself. Apparently natives think I could work well with them. So, but Moonology, this is working with the cycles of the moon, and this is going to do very well for my method of astrology, because it also has a couple of cards here. For example, oh criminy, where is it? When you want to find something you just can't, there it is. The North Node card, which is telling you to step out of your comfort zone. If you've had a reading by me, you know I tell you to ride your dragon's head, not your tail. The tail is past life incantations of things you have done. The node is you stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things shining to the stars. Now, this is me stepping out of mine. Like I said, I'm going to be teaching soon. Very nervous about this. Very nervous, but beautiful cards. Waxing moon. It's all about the moon phases. Waxing, crescent moon. Have faith in your dreams. What is Christopher saying here? Let's see. Botanical and moon magic are great. Yes, I agree. Absolutely, Christopher. Big dogs with you got it. I should try you with both angel and occult decks. I am curious what will happen. Both angel and occult are at the same time. I've never tried that. I've not wanted to piss any side off, per se. The occult deck that I have, like I said, this was mailed to me. I don't still to this day know who sent me that damn deck. I don't even know where it is right now. The day I got that deck, my kids opened it up and they seemed to recognize all the demons in there. And I'm like, is there something you want to tell me? No, they're all in Genshin Impact, Mom. And I'm like, well, what's Genshin Impact? A video game. I'm like, oh, so my kids have been educated in demonology through a video game. Jesus. But they knew what they were talking about. They were talking, this one does this. Oh, this one does that. I even had one of my kids turn around and say to me, she's talking about some demon as, well, Amy, A-M-Y. And she says it's the demon of astrology. Started thinking about that and a light bulb went on in my head. And I'm like, okay, probably the only demon I'll ever work with. But nevertheless, I did start working with it and I got a lot of downloads about astrology. It was kind of interesting. Let's see. Can we do a live experiment one time on TikTok with both sets of cards in one reading? We could. Yeah, why not? In fact, Christopher, I have yet to do this, but the last radio show I was on, which those of you who follow me on Facebook, someone said to go look at the last 30 minutes of my broadcast on, it was a show called Renee Live. There's something going on in the background, spirit-wise. I have yet to go see it. So if you get an opportunity, Christopher, go look at it and tell me what you see. It's the last half hour. But we could do that. I've never worked like that before. It's a very interesting concept, I never thought about doing that. What I could do, Christopher, I can't do it today, but maybe tomorrow. I could go on YouTube and I could do it through, if I do it through StreamYard, like I did with Kapui, the time she was on my show, it'll bring you up. I can have two people on. We could do it that way. Yeah, you can have more than one person on. I don't have the OTS software for YouTube Live, but I do use StreamYard and I can do it that way. You are brave. You're brave, but that's okay. I heard something interesting yesterday, and I'm going to leave this with you because I find it very interesting. I follow a lot of Santismas who practice Santa Muerte, who are into the Holy Mother, Santa Muerte, Holy Death. This lady who is a Santissima was saying that the Christian God is actually really the devil. He's the evil one. And she was talking about the goddess Sophia, my daughter's name. She's the real, the God is woman. Which I kind of was like, wow, But she's talking about the goddess Sophia, and I named my daughter because it's the goddess of wisdom. And my youngest is very wise beyond her years. But she's talking about this, and she's saying that the Christian God is really the satanic God. He is the evil one. And the angels, all the archangels are angry right now with what is happening in the world. So an occultist came at me and said, so are we to believe now that angels and demons are going to get along and work for the greater good? And so, this is a deep occult question I'm pondering here. And then you sit here and say, let's work with both decks. Wow. Let's see what they both have to say, because contrary to what indoctrinations have taught, the word demon is in the Bible. They're called watchers. And back then they were called daemons. And they were not evil. They were actually of spiritual They were spiritual. They were like angels in some ways. They were deities. That's the word I'm looking for. They were deities. So, to come help you do up to 4 feet. Just saw it last week. Okay. All right. Well, let's work on this tomorrow. Not that I have any plans today, but I want to do some reading today. So, I am willing to break the rules. Evil cackle. I'll do the evil cackle for you. Okay, so Christopher, do you have an angel deck, or are we using mine? And the reason I bring this up is because the lady who did this deck, her name is Yasmin Boland, and she did a lot of work correlating with Doreen Virtue. So I know that she's an astrologer that's created these. As above, so below. That's right. The Hermetic law. Yeah, Christopher, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll send you a link through StreamYard because I did it with Kapui. She was on, and we did it. So you can't have two people. Am I crazy? Okay. To keep things from going bananas, you get to be the controller of this. Oh, joy. Let me get out all my crystals, salt, and definitely some rosemary bundles for protection. Here's one thing I have learned, though, in the realm of this angel demon thing. For every demon, there is a corresponding angel. Okay. So I don't see why this wouldn't work, Christopher, because in the realm of the 72 demons of the Goetia, for every demon, there's an opposite angel. And for people who don't feel comfortable, I actually lost a couple of people on my Patreon because one of the deities of the month was the demon of astrology, Ami, also called Avnus. And I think that unhinged some people. But that's okay. Like I said, if you're indoctrinated, my Patreon page and my YouTube channel is not for you. Okay, I'll do it. I'll put out a notice. Christopher, when will you be available? Tomorrow evening? Tomorrow afternoon? I'll be drinking a bottle. Okay. Should I break out the Florida water? Okay. I'll let you know. I'll go look at my calendar. I have nothing planned. I have nothing going on, but I got to double check with the kids before I commit. And we'll go ahead and we'll do that. But yes, for every angel, there's a demon, a correlating demon. So for Avnus, there's a correlating angel. So for those of you, it is what we're saying here, Christopher, it is possible. Through the occultists I've been trained by, Bulkhead Mon, you can work with both of them, because if you aren't comfortable working with a demon's energy, then you have the sigil of the angel next to the demon's sigil, and you are using that angel as the conduit to speak to the demon. I don't know if this makes any sense, but it's for those people who aren't comfortable with summoning demons or demonology or anything like that. You can always work through the angels. So what this lady on TikTok was saying kind of made sense. The Christians make it so that the angels are at war with the demons and this and that, and that's not necessarily the case. If they had just studied a little, not Judaism, but read the Talmud a little better, then instead of the Bible, there's other books that have a lot of information in them. They would discover that it's the yin and the yang. And you're working with the yin and the yang of the energies. So why not? Let's see what happens. Okay. Now, shall I pull an oracle card just to see how this shit's going to go tomorrow? I'm going to put the moon cards away because I'm using the moon cards when I do. If you're in Patreon, you'll know that the Mother Crone, you get the tarot for the month. And I always pull one of these. I'm starting to do that. But the oracle cards that I'm using, these have a lot of angel energy in them. I will double on my protective garments just in case. Jesus Christ, fine. Be like a giraffe. That made me laugh. Go. That's too funny. All right. So I have my oracle cards here. Turn my light on so I can read this. Would you guys like me to pull one for you? I've got to go quickly here because I got to get off of here in a minute. But first, I'm going to pull one for the world at large. Spirit, the world is in chaos. Rights and freedoms are being taken away. What messages do you have? Especially for the American people right now. Okay, you'll be next, Christopher. Anybody else? Just Allah. This is a great group. We're a tight-knit group here. Okay. So I got, it's the Thinking Man. I'm going to hold this still because I know it. I rewatch the videos sometimes and I can see how blurry it is. But I got it upside down. And it is a 46, which is a 10. 10 goes into that once. It's a 1, and it's a new beginning. And let's not forget, when the Supreme Court made their decision, crows were circling that courthouse in a counterclockwise position. If you're a witch, you know what that means. If you don't, I'll tell you what it means. It means change is coming. All right. So normally this card in its upright position is about a male of wisdom and understanding. Oh, this is so damn appropriate. Upside down, it's the complete opposite of male of wisdom and understanding. What are the men in this country, the Christian men, trying to do? Suppress us. This is the complete opposite of wisdom is stupidity, and complete opposite of understanding is tyranny. The Thinking Man in reverse represents male in authority who is not acting in your best interest. How appropriate is this card? I'm like flabbergasted right now. Holy shit. Ooh. The Thinking Man is the position card represents a male in authority who is not acting in your best interest. But this card reverse is more about you than about, hold on, turning the page, than about others in your life. This card in this position instantly indicates that such a learning and growth are actually a part of your own path, and you are not heeding the call. The affirmation, I'm not going to read all of this to you guys because it's a little long and lengthy. But the affirmation is I am willing to learn new things. It is safe and comfortable for me to open up and share. So This is about men suppressing us, suppressing our freedoms, and ultimately, once a woman is incarcerated, it suppresses her vote. So this comes down to more than just abortion rights. This comes down to suppressing our vote. And there's a lot of idiotic men that are at the pulpit telling, I've seen it, where they don't think women should vote. They want to bring back witch burnings. They, all this other shit that we've been fighting for the last 100 years. So yes, this is about us rising up. The vote is being suppressed. Our voices are being suppressed. Our rights are being suppressed by ignorant, stupid men. That was very appropriate, don't you think? All right, Christopher, I will pull a card on you. What does the universe, what messages do the universe have for Christopher on this 4th of July? And I would say happy 4th of July, but there's not much to be happy about, really. I'm kind of not coloring my hair lately, so I look like crap. I'm letting it go gray. I've just kind of stopped coloring it, and I'm just going natural. Just kind of giving my hair a rest from all the chemicals and whatnot. You know, it's not good to color your hair all the time, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. So I'm giving it a bit of a rest, but I realize since I have given it a bit of a rest, it is very gray. Woo, I'm gray. Oh, Christopher, a card just spit out at me, and I have to play it. Oh, sweetheart. You got an archangel with you, honey. Let me focus that in. That is the second chakra, the archangel Ariel. Ariel. Beautiful, beautiful card. One thing I know about, and this is a 9. 36 represents 9, so there's an ending of something. And so there's an ending of this something and a beginning. But let me go. No, excuse me, 36, which is a 9, not 39. Upright, and this represents and intimacy. Now, this doesn't mean sexual intimacy. This can mean intimacy with the second chakra, vibrates the energy of beautiful angel Ariel. She sends a bright orange energy promoting inspiration, creativity, and greater comfort with intimacy. This also can represent self-care. Intimacy also represents self-care and self-love. When this card appears upright, it is urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new projects. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. So this is about letting those creative energies flow. And Christopher, I've known you long enough. I know what your psychic abilities are and what your capabilities are. You have it in spades. So call upon this archangel. This archangel is also excellent when you want protection for your pets. She protects your pets. Okay. Archangel Ariel. Ariel. Just think of the Little Mermaid. All right. What have I missed here? Okay. Let's see. I'm rocking the white witch lock, sister. All right. Yeah, I mean, I will probably color my hair again, but just not right now. I don't know. I'm just, hey, it was the Dalai Lama who said it will be the Western woman that brings the United States to salvation. And I'm starting to see it. And it'll be the grandmothers of this generation. I'm bordering that. I'm like one step in crone and one step in mother. I'm almost in the crone phase, but I just don't think the Supreme Court's realized what kind of a generation they're fussing with. Kapui, did you want one? Did you want one before I head out? All right. I'm going to pull one for you anyway. Spirit. You're a rockin' cougar. Meow. Okay. Hold on. I'm having technical difficulties here. I have some sort of thing going on with my arm. I can't lift anything. I've kind of refused to go to a doctor, but it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to. I can't even like twist a jar open, anything like that. All right. Messages for Kapui. All right. I've never drawn this card before. It is in reverse, but I'll show it to you upright. It's called Attachment. It's a number 5 card. So it's a working number, but it was in reverse. Attachment. And on the card, the lady is holding a mask up to the heavens. Let's see what that is all about. This is about perceived need and the choice to let go. And it's reversed, which is what you drew, or what I drew for you. This card reversed is a wonderful indicator of the old negative patterns, relationships, or desperate attitude is being released. You're releasing those negative energies. As you continue to let go, you will be able to establish new ways of doing things and releasing it to and relating to others. Excuse me. The universe wants you to congratulate you and your healthy new approach, but to be sure to support the changes you're making on your ongoing choices. Some patterns can be deeply encoded and may need to continue releasing the old habits. So this is a very good card. You know what I love about this deck is even the reverse. You know, you get a tarot card, you sit and you go, oh, shit, it's in reverse. I know I say that a lot. These are not bad. I think the reversed are even more positive than the uprights, but this is saying to release that negative, let go, and start nurturing yourself. I hope that helps. Stray cats. I got cat class and I got cat style. The stray cat strut. Sitting on a da 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 da. Okay, come on. I'm an 80s kid. I should know this. Now I'm singing the Stray Cats now. Anyway, Stray Cat strut. I think they also sing, we're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out. Now I got what's his name? Oh, he was really cute. He was my favorite. What was his name? The little lead guy in Stray Cats. I'm having a blank today, kids. All right. Anybody else before I get off of this crazy train? Want me to pull a card? My kids are complaining they need to get into the bathroom to shower, so I'm glad you guys are able to make friends. That's what it's all about here. Um, Networking and meeting people of like mind. Okay. I didn't think I'd be on here for an hour and a half, but I was. So I'm gonna get off this thing. I need a little more coffee. I do appreciate you all joining me today, listening to my little rant. We are going into some really serious times here. November being the worst, so be prepared for that. If you are in my Patreon, you have an actual heads up, and I'm going to be doing a lot of writing for you guys this week. Um, but be safe out there. If you are celebrating today, be safe. Um, those of you that are going out to protest, it's fine to protest, but I would think twice about protesting around the 9th. Not a good day to protest. It is okay to protest as long as you follow the stars. There's nothing wrong with protesting. You just got to follow the stars and don't go into platonic phases protesting. So I can only give one day, the 9th. My Patreons have all of it for protesting. Be safe out there. Have a safe week ahead. And I am going to come back on here, like I said, with Christopher. We'll chat about it. And it'll probably be about the same time. I'm going to have to figure out how I can go live. My camera is set up here. I can't have it set up so that, and I suppose I could bring it all down here so you could see it, the area with the cards, but I'm going to have to figure that out. We'll figure that out. But all of you guys, thanks for tuning. Christopher, keep in touch. We'll talk. Kapui, thanks for tuning. I'll let you know. It'll be sometime tomorrow around the same time. And for all the rest of you who are tuned in, Gail, Nellie, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great week ahead. Be safe out there. I'm not saying happy 4th of July. I am running a Patreon special before I leave here. Let me bring that up. I am running a Patreon special, and it expires at midnight tonight. You get 50% off the Crone tier. So that's really $60 a year instead of 120. It's pretty much the same price as the Mother tier. So if you are on the Mother tier and you want to upgrade, you definitely should take the opportunity to get in on this deal. Now, my understanding with Patreon is if you are on the Mother Crone tier and the special is running, you're automatically fostered into it. I don't know how true that is, so I would double check that. But for those of you that are in Patreon and have not gotten in on a deal, that deal is running. I refuse to create a Independence Day special, but my special is called my Take Your Power Back special. That's the special. Anyway, if you celebrate, have a great 4th. Be safe out there. Christopher, stay in touch with me. And you guys keep an eye out. I will go on tomorrow and we will do a reading with the yin and the yang, the occult deck and the angel deck. What happens if I draw Lucifer and Archangel Michael at the same time? Anyway, things I think about. Anyway, I'm going to go. You guys be safe and I'll see you later. Bye.